Yeah, it feels a lot different. Even when we came and did the rookie stuff a couple days early, I think the things that we were looking at as far as corrections and what we could possibly talk about a little bit more with the rookies out there, it's so, it's way more fine details instead of big picture things. Getting to focus on the small things and really just work towards perfection instead of bigger picture things. That's what's been the most fun, even from just starting in day one. And even in OTAs, we feel like we could do that instead of looking at bigger picture things. And that's when guys start to get comfortable, guys start to play fast, guys start to make mistakes that are, you're going 100% making these mistakes. You're not thinking, oh, should I have done this, should I have done that? No, I was convicted on this is why I did it. So it's been fun. Guys are flying around, guys are playing fast, and I think it can only get better from here.
Competition for you, is it pressure, is it motivating, is it something else?
If anything, I'd say it's motivating. Everyone talks about staying focused, controlling what you can control. My idea is just come out with high energy every single day, focus on me, make the plays when they come to me when I'm in there, and congratulate Teddy when he makes a good play, and we'll talk about when I make a bad play or when he makes a bad play. It's just about getting better every day and staying in my lane and helping this team get better every single day. Because the main goal, besides this competition, is us to start winning games here. And I think we can do that with this team that we have. And there's just a different feeling around this building right now, and it's really fun to be a part of.
Drew, your whole off season, there's been a lot of noise, and you've managed, you said, to avoid the noise. Has that ability transferred to the field? Has it helped you on the field?
I think it can correlate, yeah. There's a lot of things that go on the football field, and you make a bad play, brush it out. You hear something, brush it out, whatever. It could correlate, but it's kind of just been bred in you as a quarterback to kind of let those things go, to focus on what you can control, like I said in the last question. Control what I can control, stay in my lane, focus on me getting better, because if I get better every single day, I think this team can get better every single day, and that's my main goal.
Did you think you were going to be here when that lug nut came out of the field? What the heck?
Well, Brandon would understand. It was in that horrible state of Kansas. But surprisingly, actually, I wasn't surprised. Majority of the people helping me and being great were Denver fans and Kansas State fans. They never had the Jayhawks thing. We actually made a promise, too, that he would reverse those shirts whenever I was up here on the podium, but he's not. So we'll have to talk about that later in private. But that was insane. I was extremely scared. I took a moment there for about 3 minutes to kind of realize what happened, how severe it could have been, and Natalie was with me in the car. It was, it was pretty scary. But props to the people there helping me, being able to take me back, get me situated, wait for my dad to come get me, and went back home to Kansas City for a couple more days. I was planning on being here in Denver. That's where I was coming from, but I went home to Kansas City and had a few more dinners with the family and just relaxed with them for a couple of days, because that was a little intense.
Did you see it?
No.
You were driving?
Yeah. So the long story short, you're coming across 70 through Kansas. One lane's coming this way, the other one's going this way. They were in the right lane. I was in this right lane. Their tire flew up in the air, and I saw it come off their car. So I was like, okay, may need to slow down. And then it starts coming, went into the grass, popped up over the grass, and then onto our highway. It wasn't even a car next to me. It was a car going the opposite way.
Oh,
so I was like, slammed on the brakes, dodged the tire. Right as the tire went behind me, I turned around, and then the bolt hit. So I don't know how in the world the bolt stays on the tire from 4 lanes over, grass, pops over, then hits the car. It was pretty freaky, but.
Drew, in this building, it's called the quarterback competition. We as the media have certainly made it a quarterback competition. What's Drew doing today? What's Teddy doing today?
Yeah.
If you were a fan, is that the type of reporting you would want from the media?
I'm sure the fans love it. That's what we're out here to do. It's competition 24/7, whether it's the meeting room, whether it's how fast we eat our food at the lunch table. I'm surprised no one's like, all right, I got here at this time, he got here at this time. I'm surprised that's not out either. But I'd suppose if I was a fan, that's what makes it fun. But when you're in these walls, whether you're an offensive lineman, D-line, whoever it may be, it's just about us getting better every day. And broke it down a couple days ago and talked about how winning needs to be the culture here. Anytime I break this team down, we're going to break down on win, because we just got to talk about it, be about it, just live it, because that's what we want, and that's what this team deserves.
Well, do you think you should be the starter?
I think I'm going to come out here every day and practice my butt off and give everything I got for this team and for this state and for everybody in that building that lives, jobs, families depend on it.
He
Drew,
makes
you
you,
and KJ had some big moments last year. As he gets more experience, how can he stress the defense every week?
Yeah. First off, if you're under 10 yards, he'll be able to shake you. He'll be able to get open and man-to-man. And I think when he gets into press situations, press man, he doesn't shut down from it either. And most of the time when you get a semi-undersized guy, I feel like that's one thing that they have a knock. He can't get off press. He's not physical enough. KJ's super physical. And when you get past the 10 yards, I don't know. There's a lot of people that can really hang with him when he's got the jets rolling. He's 100% healthy. So as long as we can keep him healthy, I think he'd be big for us.
Drew, in this
Before
training
the
camp,
break.
oh, go ahead, Mason.
before the break, you mentioned getting together with some teammates and working. So what were you able to do in the last few weeks, and how did that kind of set you up for today?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us was just being able to see each other face to face, talk it up, kind of get back to the whole friendship thing, relationship building, whatnot. But then when we got out on the field, we got to be able to run plays that we knew we were going to run these first couple days. It wasn't all right, Jerry, what route do you want today? You want a slant? All right, we'll go a couple slants. It was, all right, we got this play first. Tim, go be the X. Jerry, go play the F. Noah, Albert, go play the Y. Whoever it may be. We actually got to put decent work out there instead of just coming out there to throw the football, which I feel like if you're going to go out there on a field when it's in the off season, I think you got to have intent. And I think our intent going out there was run the plays that we knew we were going to come here and run and just keep getting better at it every day we were out there.
So to specify, was that the last few days, or was that like the last few weeks?
That was over this break, over this little June after the lug nut happened.
Drew, in light of the competition that's going on, do you think you're better off sometimes just not throwing the ball, not taking chances, being safer with things than you might have been last year in your rookie year?
I hope I understood that correctly. I'm gonna say no. I hope I heard that correctly because I feel like I'm a smarter player now. I feel like the chances that I do take are more calculated chances rather than maybe when I was a rookie or in that second year. I feel like when I press the ball, it's going to be a safer call, so to say. And I do know better now when to check it down, when to get the 5 yards, when to get the 3 yards, and that has obviously been stressed to me in the building. The gunslinger mentality can still be there, but it's got to be a calculated gunslinger rather than just a sprayer.
That's different this year.
That's absolutely different.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Drew, I want to first of all clear up. Lawrence is about the only redeeming quality in the state of Kansas. But it's easy for us to keep score, even though Vic tells us not to, right? That's
Yeah.
just human nature. How do you keep yourself from keeping score, even if it's just against yourself? Like the golf?
Yeah. I think it's just staying in routine. I think you got to have a good idea on what you're going to do when you wake up every single day, what you're going to do when you go to bed every single day. And once that time limit from waking up and going to bed is done, you learn what you needed to learn. You write it down multiple times, maybe come back to it the next morning, but then each day is a new day. Once you start getting wrapped up in the Teddy won today, or I won today, or okay, I got 2 backed up in my pocket these couple days. Like once you get into that game, I think it becomes a little less about this team and us getting better and more about yourself, and that's when things can kind of start to take a downward toll. So that's definitely something that I'm not going to be getting myself into.
Drew, you talked about the familiarity of the offensive scheme is helping you guys come out here quicker.
Yeah.
Just focus on the details. I'm curious though about the continuity along the offensive line. It looks like as many as 4 of the 5 returning starters could be starting early this season. Calvin Anderson obviously has experience in the system as well. How much does that, as a quarterback, help you, the continuity with that?
Yeah, I mean, it helps you breathe a little bit, literally and mentally too at the same time. It's been nice to have those guys, especially when you walk into a huddle and you look around and it's all guys you've seen before. It's just there's a certain sense of feeling comfortable in the huddle, and it's not just me. I feel like Jerry and KJ and any of those guys, Noah, Albert, anytime they get next to him, Eric, anytime they get next to those guys and they've been next to them, they've grinded with these guys, they've worked with these guys, they've sweated with these guys, it brings us all closer. And I feel like, sure, it's comfortable being around the same people, but I think it also brings us together when those guys get to stay around. They get to have the same group. They've made relationships with these guys. Like I said, they've been through some rough times, and they all want the good times to come. So when you bring someone new in, it's like, maybe they came from a really good spot. Maybe they don't know what it's like to push through this stuff. So I think us having that similar group and realizing that now is the time to roll. We got to roll. We got to start winning. We got to start playing well. We got to start playing smart. And being able to have those guys in there that have went through those same things, I think helps a lot.
Drew said you got to start winning. Is it that continuity that makes you believe that can happen now and happen early this year, or is it something else?
Yeah, I think just being comfortable with each other knowing each other extremely well. I think another thing is just we're starting to get a little older. I don't think there's one person in there that's going to be able to make the excuse of, we're young, or that was a rookie mistake. Like, we're going to hold these rookies to a high standard because there's not going to be a ton of them. There's going to be a couple of them. But we just have the age, so to say. I mean, there's no old team in the NFL now. There's young teams, and then there's experienced team. And I believe that we should be one of the ones that are considered an experienced team. And if we don't play like it, shame on us. And if we do play like it, then that's what we expect in that locker room.
Did you get some bulk in the offseason? Did you get bigger?
I'd like to think I did, yeah.
How
Yeah.
much? I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so when I got here, it was 228.5 when I weighed in. And after my shoulder injury last year, not getting to do much, I was probably playing around 218, 219. So I like to say I gained about 10, 12 pounds. It was 230 before practice today. Feels good. It feels, lack of a better term, I feel like I'm not going through puberty anymore. I feel like I'm getting a little more facial hair. I'm kind of growing up a little bit, kind of maybe getting some grown men strength, and it feels nice.